Thank goodness. I was beginning to get worried. Oh, please excuse my state of dress. I had to get into my nightclothes so as not to arouse suspicion, although, truth be told, I haven't slept properly in weeks. Yes, I know this is all improper and probably quite strange for you. I couldn't tell you what I called you here for until we were alone. I trust you know of my upcoming wedding. Please, don't congratulate me. I am the furthest from happy it is possible to be about the whole arrangement. In fact, that's what I wanted to talk to you about. You are one of my most loyal and trusted friends here in the palace. You've looked over me for many years. I could only trust you with this large favor. You see, I haven't been spending my sleepless nights idly. The last couple of weeks, I've been slowly concocting a plan of sorts to escape. I know, it seems ridiculous, hopeless even, but I believe I've found a way. And trust me, it is the only way I can think of to be free of this wretched betrothal. My father is set on it. In truth, the kingdom is suffering. Plagues and droughts have ravaged the land, and slowly, silly wars have depleted the banks. This arranged marriage is a political one, and I believe my father is of the opinion that it is the only way to save our quickly sinking kingdom. Marriage to a more powerful family. But he is a brute. I've seen the way he treats his servants, seen the way he talks to the serving girls. No, I will not sign my life away to such a man, just to secure the country's future. We can find another way. I believe that less money spent on the exquisite banquets my father insists on holding may help the people more than he expects. But enough of that. What do you think? I knew I could count on you. What would I do without you? I suppose I must warn you of the risks, should you be discovered helping me with this plan. I would predict that my father, in a bid to save the marriage and save face, will place the blame solely on your shoulders. He will, in all likelihood, accuse you of kidnapping the princess for your own gain and charge you with treason. I will do everything in my power to ensure that doesn't come to pass, but I can't make guarantees. I'd like you to bear that in mind before you fully commit yourself to this task. I know it's a lot to ask. So be it. Thank you. Well, would you like me to go over the plans in more detail? So I know that while you are often at the palace grounds, you perhaps don't know the layout as well as I. I have drawn a very detailed sketch of this particular building, and I shall show you the 3 options we have for escape. Of course, once we leave this building, there is the palace grounds to navigate and various other dangers that come along with it, but I believe this building shall be the hardest part. Let me show you. Alright, now this is the top floor. This is my bedroom, and this is the balcony over there. This is the bathroom and the closet. As you go out, I'm sure you'll be familiar with the area that I often entertain guests. This is the room where my maids sleep, and this is a small kitchen. There's various other little nooks and crannies, but the most important part is this here. This is a garbage chute. It's an ingenious little pipe that comes from the kitchen down to the outside, and believe it or not, it's rather big. Now, this is perhaps the least preferable method, since it will be rather disgusting, but I'm willing if the other methods are not possible. It's certainly the simplest. We exit my room, we make our way to the service kitchen, and we slide ourselves down the pipe. Voila, we're outside. In a heap of garbage and rotten food, of course, but we are outside. Now, if you, like me, would prefer not to do that, I do have some other options. Of course, there's going down the stairs and into downstairs and making our way through the front entrance, but I doubt that would be successful. No. But going down the stairs and sneaking into this room here goes past the guards guarding the main entrance and into the basement. The basement has wine and sacks of potatoes and all the various things you would expect, but it also has an entrance route into the sewers. Once again, not a very pleasant method, but there is one clear advantage. Rather than having to navigate the palace grounds, once we're in the complex of sewers, we would be able to get quite a ways away before we came up to the surface again. I would say it may be the safest option, albeit probably the most disgusting. There is also the option of a grate that the servants use, a trapdoor of sorts that lets you use the servants' exit. Of course, this holds a little more danger, since there probably would be servants running about at almost all times of the day or night, but the servants won't necessarily run to the guards, especially when they see the princess, and if they are loyal, we may convince them to simply let us go. If they are not loyal, they may be bribed into loyalty. But again, it is a risk. It's up to you whether or not we take it. Well, since you are the one putting your head on the block, as it were, I will leave this decision up to you. I will leave you this book, so that you may contemplate it, but let me know clearly of the plans. Although you may wish to encode the answer somewhat, perhaps into poetry or something. I'm not entirely sure my letters aren't being monitored. Of course, my father is all too aware that I am not the biggest fan of his plans of marriage. But anyway, we shall figure that out at a later date. So, the plan from there, regardless of a method of escape. I have contacted a friend on the outside who has acquired a carriage driver with very tight lips. He will meet us at an inn at the crossroads a few miles away, and from there he will take us on the long journey through the mountains and into the neighbouring kingdom. Of course, once there, we will be beyond the king's jurisdiction and hopefully in safety. I'm not sure what comes next. I've been slowly selling my dresses, jewellery, belongings to save up enough gold for at least a couple of years of comfortable living. Of course, nothing like I'm accustomed to, but it should be adequate. Perhaps I'll get a job. I was hoping you would accompany me. Of course, I can't promise you any great life, but you may not be safe if you return here. I'm sure they will figure out your part sooner or later. But of course, you do not have to remain with me once your part in the plan is done. You may go off to seek your fortunes, or do whatever you wish. Speaking of which, as kind and wonderful as I know you to be, I do not expect you to do this great task out of the goodness of your heart. This shall be yours. I shall pay you this up front, with another half coming once you deliver me safely to my destination. It is a small fortune for many, enough to live your dreams, open a shop, travel the world. This I must do. I am asking you so much. I cannot let you leave empty-handed. Please. This is an order from your princess. We can't have you staying too long. My maids are very perceptive. I would expect nothing less from those personally serving me. And while I believe they are aware of your presence, I think they consider this to be a pre-marriage tryst of sorts. Let's not give them reason to become suspicious by having you stay too long. We don't want to make our task any more difficult than it already is by having eyes and ears pricked for activity. As for me, I shall try and fail to sleep once again, I suppose. The weight of this plan does weigh heavily on me, I admit. I must leave all that I know, my life of luxury, my family, my friends. And yet, I find I am resolved, and I believe your company will make it much easier. Well then, until I see you again.